Happy Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Rosalind. Welcome. Happy New Year. Good evening. Let me get my volume down here on all things. Yeah, that's good. Hello, Carmen. Welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Y'all, I am fighting the urge to do an unboxing tonight because I want to get into some of my new purchases. Happy New Year, Diane. But I'm also at a point where I am ready to lay 2019 to rest. And in order for me to do that, there are a few lists that I feel like I need to cover to properly put away 2019 and to be able to move on to what I'm going to call bigger, better, brighter carries in 2020. So, thank you so very much for joining tonight. Hi, Ems. We miss you. Be safe. So I think I have Carmen tonight, Diane, Ems. So we are just gonna jump in. I hope all of you ladies will go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. I mean, after all, you're here on a Sunday evening for a reason. Make your presence count. I appreciate that. Um, so let's get started. I do have one, two, three, four, five. Hi, Penny. Happy New Year. I do have five items that made my 2019 disappointments list. Hi, B Star. Happy New Year. Five items that made my disappointments or worst purchases, worst carry, whatever list of 2019. We're going to run through these pretty quick because I've got other stuff I need to be doing. But before I dive into those items, let's just address the huge disappointment in the room, the elephant in the room, so to speak, of Dooney's level of service. Happy New Year, TL. The level of service this year. I mean, it gave birth. It gave birth to an entire series of sip and cuss. It has been the topic of many Facebook discussions, many YouTube posts, many private text messages, live chat conversation. It took roots, and clearly Dooney decided they were going to fertilize it and water it and make it healthy like a really strong weed in 2019. The first thing is the amount of returns that we have received, that we have paid either sale, full price, or discounted price for, but expecting that we were going to receive brand new in original packaging product. So you get a return, the packaging is not what you expect and not what they advertise on their website. The shipping, which initially I thought, you know what, this is out of Dooney's hands. They, turn packages over to FedEx, UPS, whoever it is, and then after that, it's out of their hands. And yes, that's true to a certain extent. The extent that it's not true is if the box is recycled or reused, if the tape is not properly applied or secured, or the correct amount of tape is applied to the box before it exchanges hands over to the logistics carrier, then I can put blame on Dooney for that. And then the last thing is their level of customer service, because the hours of operation, the resolution to numerous issues that surfaced this year, including um, used bags, including them not taking some of the Dooney pays as they were expected from several of the people in the tribe, them duplicating and triplicating payments for bags, the fact that when you call customer service with an issue, they don't do exchanges, they won't honor the sale price of a previous purchase. All of these are things that I feel that we spent all of 2019, all of 2019 discussing, begging, pleading, and complaining about. And here we are, in 2020, a whole new decade, and some of the same things have happened and likely will continue to happen. So, I don't know how many of you place orders during the 12 days of Dooney. Maybe in the chat you can let me know if you placed an order. The commitment that Dooney made during that sale is that every single package would be delivered by Christmas Eve, that nothing would be late, you would get everything on time. And to my surprise, I did. Everything that I ordered before Christmas made it here by Christmas Eve. Here's the ironic thing. Not one of those packages was delivered by the United States Postal Service. Some of them came UPS, others came FedEx. And as I watched my UPS app, some of those came second day air. Yeah. Second day air, when everything else that we've purchased throughout the year arrived snail mail, slow mo, right? Having to track it, things taking 2 weeks to get from Connecticut or from California, and all of a sudden it's the 12 days of Christmas sale, and things can be ordered as late as the 22nd or 23rd and still arrive by the 24th. So what that tells me is that there is an ability within Dooney's logistics systems for them to do better, because when they choose to do so, we get our packages via the delivery that should mirror the quality of the bag that we've purchased. Now, that goes back to, if you're buying a used bag, which we don't anticipate, then you kind of get the service that, or delivery service that comes along with it, which is not what we expected. But at its core, it means that Dooney has made a conscious decision during the year of 2019, and quite honestly, it started in 2018 is really when the service started to really deteriorate from a shipping standpoint. They have made a cost decision that even though they could do better, they're not until they choose to, which is at Christmas time. So here's the thing. And then we're going to move on to my 5 disappointments from a selection, from a product offering standpoint. Unfortunately, this we had this conversation before Christmas, right? Leading up to the 12 days, how to navigate the sale, reminding everyone that this was not a sale for us as collectors. Those of us that make repeated purchases over and over and over and over and over again, and sometimes several times a month. I've made several purchases during the course of a week, depending on, don't judge me, this is a judgment-free zone, depending on what was going on. What this service, and I'm not complaining about the service, right? I'm happy that all of my things arrived by Christmas Eve as they committed. But what second day air tells me as a consumer, as a loyal, repeated consumer who reserves the right to use my platform to quite honestly bitch and complain about the service that is not right. What that tells me is that Dooney does not sincerely appreciate the business that I give them throughout the course of the year. Because if they did, my free shipping would at least be UPS, not UPS to United States Postal Service for sure post. It would be FedEx delivery and get here in a reasonable amount of time. It would be second day air around major events like holidays. It would be maybe in your birthday month. If you place an order, you get like second day air for free. Hear me, marketing team. But the fact that they screw us as consumers and as loyal customers all year long, and then during their 12 days of Dooney, when they got, no offense if I call out your honey, husband, significant other, but they got Quentin and Larry and Rob and William and Jonathan and all of these other people that may be making one or two purchases a year on their own, right? Independently. And they will get their stuff to them a whole lot quicker than they do for us that shop all year long. All right, I'm getting off of that soapbox because I feel my blood pressure going up, but it has irritated the snot out of me. Again, I appreciate having my stuff, but I expect that all year long. And this showed me that they have it within their power to do so on a regular basis. Like, that's the expectation. They should have continued to give us crappy service leading up to Christmas. At least that would have shown us, hey, they started the way, they finished the way they started. But they didn't. They decided that they were going to step it up and do what they should have been doing all year long. And therefore, not making as many or our usual purchases, we end up being the ones that get shortchanged because we rode it out, stuck it out with them throughout the course of the year. We got the short end of the stick, and then at the end of the year, if you didn't buy when the service was actually improved, that's when that's when they don't hold back on the level of at least shipping service. All right. Enough with that. I would, though, like to see in the comments what your experience was around the holiday time and what your thoughts are on the fact that they, basically spared no expense in shipping this holiday season to make sure that everyone got their packages. At least I think everyone got their packages by Christmas Eve. Is it fair to those of us that shop all year long that we can't get that level of service all year long? Like, there should be some kind of loyalty or yeah, we need a shipping loyalty program in 2020. If you're a VIP Cores member, you get free shipping. It does not matter whether your item is $10 or whether your order is $900. If you are enrolled with them, there's a loyalty program, and at a minimum, they will ship your items for free. So in the comments, put your business caps on and just drop a comment and let me know what you think Dooney should do for us as loyal consumers by way of a loyalty program in 2020 and beyond. All right. That is my first, I guess it could have been a sip and cuss because we're starting with the worst and the disappointments of 2019. And I am going to start with my large Maxine, pebbled Maxine, in the color ecru. Gorgeous silhouette. Love the color ecru. Shoulder drop is amazing. But y'all, that bag is really not large. I mean, I think that You know how, ladies, if you go onto a website and you are buying apparel, whether it's pants or leggings or skirts, or whether it's tops or tanks or pajamas or even bras, depending on the numeric system that they're using, there is like this conversion chart, right? Or like if you're buying Shaper Mint or if you're buying Spanx, right? You go on and there's like this little chart that says if you're from here to here, this is the size that you should get. I need for Dooney to do something like that around the measurements of a bag. Because when you tell me large, I'm expecting at a minimum it's the size of a large leisure shopper. I'm expecting it to be the size at least of like the original Mackenzie hobo. When I think about a large, I'm thinking about like an East West Chelsea shopper. I'm thinking right, like large, like a big butt bag that's got depth, width, and dimension, right? And that's what I was hoping and thinking when I got this bag. But just because a bag is larger than the small Lexington, just because it's larger than the crossbody, just because it's larger than a Kyra does not make it a large bag. It may be a larger bag, but there should be some specifications around what is considered a small bag from a silhouette standpoint, because maybe it would help, people that buy and say bags are too large or too small or whatever for them. What is considered the dimensions of a small bag? What is considered a medium bag and what's considered a large? Because if you are looking at Dooney's size profiles, for the most part, the dimensions kind of repeat themselves over and over and over again in different bags, right? But when you throw large in the title, sometimes I throw caution to the wind and don't necessarily spend as much time maybe researching the dimensions as I probably should just because you called it large. It's not large. It's not large for what I normally carry. It's not large for what I need to have with me. It's not large compared to other bags with dimensions that are truly large. All right, that's number one. My second disappointment, y'all, I'm gonna. My second disappointment for 2019, and this is gonna surprise some of you, but I'm gonna explain to you why. My second disappointment also falls in the size category. So I'd like to know, right now I'm talking about size being a disappointment for me in category, in bag sizes. What's your disappointment? Because my second one is also a size disappointment for an entire collection. It's the doodle. And I know you're thinking, but DA, you bought a couple of things from the doodle collection. Like, you even suggested to us that we pick up the wallet from this collection even if we didn't buy anything else. I did. And you can thank me later when you're not on Posh, Macari, or eBay trying to track down something in that print because you have it brand new in your collection. So I'm not recanting on that, and I stand beside it. And yes, I bought other things from that collection that you haven't even seen yet. But if you are not a zip, if you are not a crossbody, if you are not a backpack, if you are not a pod, I guess pod is considered a backpack. It was difficult to find something for us big bag girls. Like, there should have been a doggone leisure shopper, a large and a small leisure shopper in the black and white, the white with the pink, and the black with the multi. Dooney completely missed the mark in 2019 by releasing that gorgeous, fun, graphic design. And the only way you could get that bag in a larger size was to go to QVC. So clearly the people that are making the purchasing or the request for bags or shopping, the selection, making the buying decisions, they're spot on. But Dooney, whether it was ILD.com or the outlets, the fact that there was not a larger bag profile offered in that design was a huge disappointment. I'm hoping that in 2020 we are going to continue to see the doodle print or some other graphic, and that there will be a more even distribution of the size bags that are being offered. Because as a group of 41 plus of us sitting in here tonight, we should not have all had to settle on just getting a wallet to get something, because either the bags were too doggone small with a zip, or not large enough, or maybe you just didn't want to walk around with a pod on your back with 19 different colors in it. Huge disappointment. I think that could have been a major sales collection for Dooney this year, but the product mix, just in my opinion, was not there. So I'm curious, in that doodle collection, let me know, were you interested in that bag, or in that print? Did you find something you liked in there? Was there a particular bag silhouette that you would have liked to see that print made into? Let me know in the chat and in the comments if you're watching on the replay. All right, the next thing that was a disappointment for me, after making many of purchases, is the large Sister Carrington. Yep, I used it as a carry-all, and it quickly turned into what felt like a brick in my bag. It needed an outside zipper. It needed more organization in the interior, like a couple zip pockets, a few more than 3 or 4 card slots. It just has a lot of potential to be either a catch-all or could be that one bag that you take and use it as your main bag. You know, that bag that you can take and throw over in your work bag, or that bag that you take and throw over in your backpack because you're in a situation where you don't necessarily need a purse for the day, but you also don't necessarily want to be walking around with something as small, as a pencil case. I still have it. I've already tried to justify for 2020 not purchasing anymore. I do need to figure out how I'm going to use those in my collection. Or, thank you, Mrs. Q, I will be listing them. Thank you for the group invite. I may end up listing some of them and purging them if I cannot figure out a way to really use them. I was telling DJ King earlier today when we were kind of talking through our list and things that would make, the best and worst of 2019, that, I don't have a clutch life. My sister, she has a clutch life. She has a pochette life. I don't have that life. So it may be something or a few that she decides to take off of my hand once I get to the point that I'm ready to purge my collection. But I realized after collecting them all of 20, late 17 into 18, that here I sit in 2020 with a bunch of large clutches for which I have no clutch life to carry. So, all right. My next item, which is should be number 4 if my count is right, because I'm doing 5. Number 4 is the nylon large Addison. Now, I love Addison as a beach bag. She went to the Bahamas, and then I continued to live in her after we returned. She was amazing as a beach bag and terrible as a purse. The reason being, we've had this conversation before, those teeny tiny straps on a ginormous bag that should, if you like, should be weighted down. I mean, you should expect, right? You should expect that if you have a larger bag, then the likelihood that you're going to be carrying more in it is pretty high. And therefore, I'm going to need straps proportionate to the size of the bag. Everything at the end of the week of travel with that bag, it was just like a cinder block in the bottom of my bag. Everything just kind of sank down to the bottom. The straps were too small and digging. The bag was too big to carry over the crook of my arm or in my hand. It just did not work out as an everyday bag. Now, I know dimension wise, if I recall, it's equivalent or in the same ballpark as the two larger sizes of the Neverfull. And I know people carry those all the time. But that bag is not coated cotton, it's nylon. And the straps were terrible on it. Beach bag, perfect. Vacation, poolside, on a cruise, it worked out beautifully. As a handbag, not so much. I don't recommend it from a handbag standpoint. All right, we're going to see if we can wrap this up in the next few minutes. Number 5. The absolute worst thing for me in 2019 as it relates to this Dooney Bourke handbag carry, and I think I've kind of collected my thoughts over the course of the year, is, and I know I'm going to hurt some of y'all's feelings, and some of y'all are going to be upset. I just ask that you respect the space that we're in, and there's room for all to agree or disagree. The absolute worst for me in 2019 was any and everything that had that doggone logo lock on it. Yep, I said it. It doesn't matter whether it was the logo lock tote, which I hate because that doggone lock scratches and flops and it's not convenient. And then don't even get me started on that damn Hattie. You know, the bag that had to be super glued. The lock had to be super glued in order for it to remain a strap and not become a leash that you're just dragging your bag along with. Yeah, that one. I will not purchase anything else ever in life from Dooney with that doggone logo lock on it. There's nothing y'all can say to convince me. I don't care what the silhouette is. I don't care how many times they redesign it. I don't care if they are giving it away for free. I am over the logo lock. Matter of fact, I brought a logo lock back from Nashville that I'd given my mom. And guess what's missing off the bag? Oh no, the logo lock is still on there. That thing is like a weight. It'll anchor a ship down. But the hardware, that loop that it's supposed to go through, that's gone. Who knows? Maybe I should have glued that down or tacked it down or something else. You know, these bags have kind of gotten to the point where they've become craft projects. You know, paint by number. That I can't take any more paint by number bags. I'm not taking anymore. You know, the kind of bag that you get the parts and the pieces, and then you have to go to kind of put it together, and it says put a dab of glue here and connect that, and then put a stitch on this one, and it goes this way, and then you like loop it. I'm not buying any more bags that have to be finagled, finesse, stitched, glued, craft project together. I'm not doing it. And if it's got a logo lock on it, all of you that love them, no worries. I will not be in the rat race, in the competition trying to secure those bags. You do not have to worry about me even accidentally putting one in my cart, because I am done with bags that I have to sit and look at and have to try to figure out how can I make this work. And that's not just with the logo lock. That is with anything else. If the strap isn't right, if the strap isn't long enough, if the butt of it isn't wide enough, if it's not deep enough, if the organization isn't there, if it don't have... Done. I have made my last sympathy purchase with Dooney Bourke, and I made it in 2019. And I know from the chat that there's some of you that have put an extra 300 miles on your car this year, back and forth to FedEx or UPS or the post office, returning stuff back and forth because it hadn't been right, it wasn't new, it wasn't packaged right, it was dented, it was used on the corner, had corner wear, all this other stuff. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not only did Mrs. Q share with us what her husband shared with her, but also my tribe sister Val. Like, here's the thing. It's a new bag. Mrs. Q, make sure Mr. Q validates that I'm saying it correctly. If not, correct me in the chat. It's a new bag. You should not have to work with it. End quote. It's a new bag. You should not have to work with it. You shouldn't have to glue the strap. You shouldn't have to wonder about how you flip and close the doggone lock. It should not be a science experiment as to whether or not I'm supposed to have the enamel on the outside or the doggone duck. You designed the bag. If you want us to, we've tried. Peter, my precious Peter, we've tried to help you this year in designing bags, but clearly that has fallen on deaf ears. No, you're getting a little bit up in age. Maybe time to turn the hearing aid up just a little bit. We've told you what we wanted. Not just from me, it's in the comments. It's in the live chat. It's there. But we are done working, trying to convince ourselves, trying to coach each other into making purchases. One, we don't need them. Everybody, all 56 people sitting in here likely owns more than one something from Dooney. I would say that if in 2020, those of you that are going to make early year purchases, if it's not right, I think you made your last purchase in 19, 18, 17, or heck, in 1996 if they can't get it right. Because you shouldn't have to work with a new bag. And you damn sure shouldn't need E6000 glue to make sure the strap stays on your shoulder. So that's all I have. I felt like, you know what? There's some things in 2019 I need to just go ahead and purge and get it out. There's going to be plenty of time for me to share and show with you what I bought because I still have an amazing birthday bag I need to share. And I'm ready to carry it. So maybe we'll get another live in this week. Maybe. Don't hold me to that, please. But there's just some things from 2019 that we do not need to bring over into 2020. Model Chick New York, I Coach has Mrs. Q labeled it correctly. It's hashtag Coach Takeover. That was 2019, and I promise you, I have got to go. I'm working. I failed because I should have had a coach strategy coming into 2020. I should have had it before the clock struck midnight, but I didn't. So I'm working on it now. But I have got to have a better strategy for coach in 2020. I do, because it was ridiculous. Coach was like the schoolyard bully. I pulled my first trigger on an accessory, and it was like they took my lunch money and put their foot on the back of my neck, and they didn't let up because I still got Coach packages coming to be delivered this week. Ooh, I hadn't felt like that with Dooney. It's been a minute since I felt like that with Dooney, like a couple of years, because we start seeing the decline like in 17. Coach came for my jugular and all my little coins in 2019, and I was happy to give it to him. No complaints. Matter of fact, I might as well. I had to go back. I did. I went back. Is Vader in here? Because I had to go back and get the umbrella. I didn't know until I got a picture that they had a red horse and carriage umbrella. I had to go back and I found it. It was waiting for me. It was the only color in the store. And for those of you that may be new and don't know, red is my favorite color. So the fact that there was a red horse and I didn't even look to see how much it cost. I don't even know. What was it? It says it was $88, but it was 70% off. Probably paid way too much for it. But I will tell you, for those of you that have been looking at Dooney's umbrellas, if you've ever had one in your hand, you know that that's for a mist. It's not for rain. This one is definitely got more weight. It's way more substantial than Dooney's umbrella. It is still not like for me, the best affordable designer umbrella is Vera Bradley. I think they use a totes umbrella and put their stuff on because it is a heavy, big, nice weighted umbrella that you can use in a for real rain. Dooney's umbrella is like a mist. And I would say you could probably use the one from Vera Bradley on Storm. Dooney's is a mist, and Coach you can use in the rain. Haven't opened it up to see what size it is. Opening up in the house, bad luck, whatever. Don't judge me. See, isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. I did not see them have any other colors, and Vader didn't have a different color in the picture that she shared with me either. So I think it's red or nothing. I don't know. If I'm wrong, please leave that in the comments or in the live chat. And then there is kind of a little pinky. It is pink because it's got pink wristlet strap on there. The Next item, I am, I am, who do I blame? This is Kimberly Mine's doing, not the color. Kim's, I think, is in black. But I've been looking for one that had the blue. So your frequently used cards are your ID on the outside. It has the wristlet strap and the silver metallic. The interior that's my only issue. Y'all know I don't like black linings. Things get lost in there. But this one has a black lining, no slit, no card slots, none of that. And then on the back, there's a place for you to put your cash, and then a place for you to slide some cards. So it's a really compact wallet. So I'm going to give this a try in this new year because I've been using the Target pouches for all of my receipts. So I'm going to try to downsize. So I picked that up, and this was on clearance. So it was like 70 plus another 25, I think, off when I picked it up. But I don't have the tag in here to tell you. Did I pull the tag out? No. All right. And then where did I put it? I don't know. I thought I had the sister pouch. I got it in red, but then, you know, I kind of needed the set. I did not get the little wristlet like this. Maybe I should have. But I did go back and secure the yellow. Because I got reeled in. I mean, all of the different colors of the horses and carriage. Y'all, let me stop. It didn't matter. It's because Coach has had its foot on my neck all year. There's the truth. We're not sugarcoating anything in 2020. We are just calling it what it is. And the schoolyard bully, even ending 2019, I was begging for a little bit of air. And they took it up long enough to put me in line at the register. So be it. Well, you've got my list of 2019 worst or disappointments in Dooney. Come back when we'll talk through. I've got like the best of accessories, the best of exploring. We've got a couple other things, so maybe I'll try to get those in so that we can get back to the actual bags. Please go ahead, hit the thumbs up before you head out. It just, you know what? It's just like taking attendance, right? It just marks you present. It also helps me from an algorithm standpoint for those of you that are not YouTube content creators. The chat, the comments that you leave, the thumbs up, all of that just tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, there may be other people out there that watch similar videos that we should recommend this particular video to. It doesn't cost you anything. You're already sitting there holding the phone or the tablet or sitting at the screen. I mean, you're going to have to click off anyway because I'm getting ready to end. Just click the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the bell before you head out, and then close out the screen. We will be back on Friday night hanging out on Mrs. Q's channel for Real Friday. So come back and hang out with all of the ladies in the tribe there. Please, please, please don't forget to support all of the amazing content creators in this handbag community. We do appreciate your support, the interaction. You just don't know. I mean, there's just some things we're not going to leave in 2019 because they were good things. They were wholesome things. We're going to bring those over into 2020, a whole new decade, because good things should continue from one time period to the next. Do your part to help make that happen. Thank you so very much for watching. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that this year is off to an amazing start and that there are beautiful things in store for you this year. That you have a reasonable, my grandmother always said, a reasonable portion of health and strength. That your peace of mind is runneth over in abundance, and that every once in a while you'll have a little bit extra left over so that you can do something kind and generous for someone else financially, without it impeding your ability to take care of home. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction. Take care.